Hi everybody, welcome back to Nicely Soiled. This is Valentina and I'm super happy you clicked on this video. So today we're going to talk about seeds because spring is at the door. And if you're like me, I really guess you have many seeds that you want to experiment with. But before you start experimenting, I would love to give you some recommendations that I learned, sometimes also the hard way. And so in order to help you avoid the mistakes I made, then you should follow this video until the end. So let's get started with the first recommendation. So my very first recommendation is to make sure that the seed is fresh. And also when I sell seeds on my website, I stress the fact that they are fresh seeds. Why? Why do I stress that so much? Because the longer you wait and the older the seed gets, then the lower the chances are that the seed has quote-unquote expired. And how do you know that it's fresh? When the seed has been collected within a year, the season before basically. Like if now it's spring, then it should have been collected the winter, just the past winter. Not before, because otherwise it's like the year before, the winter before, and that doesn't qualify as a fresh seed in my books. My second recommendation is about the timing when you start growing your plants from seed. Is winter a good season? Is timing important at all? These questions need a bit an in-depth answer. Why? Because there are two types of plants. On one side we have plants that do need a seasonality, and in another case we don't really need a seasonality. And what is the difference? For example, if a plant is native to a tropical region, as we were saying, then its weather is always constant. So what does that mean? That you always need to provide it with some sort of light and illumination that is probably like from 12 to 14 hours a day. I would say 12 hours a day is enough. And you also need to create a warm environment. And home is okay, like the temperature at home, maybe if you put like a light bulb that warms up the temperature, then you are still perfectly good to go, and you can like start growing your seeds even in winter. I did it with my Anthurium Clarinervium seeds, but I'm not going to talk about it in this video because there is a whole video that I will link down in the info box below. So you have a reference, you can have a look, and if you're interested in how to grow that type of seed, then yeah, you can watch it as a reference. I explained everything from A to Z there. Instead, today we are talking about seeds that require a seasonality. For example, Wisteria seeds. They are super beautiful plants and they live in areas where we have spring, where we have summer, when we have autumn, that then becomes winter. So they want to have a life cycle respected. Otherwise they will not understand much, and this life cycle is not easy to fake as the one for a constant, let's say, a constant weather, a constant temperature, and a constant humidity. In this case, it is much more difficult. You can also put it in the fridge, but if you don't have the right weather, then at the end of the day, at the end of the year, in the end, the plant will not really survive. Because again, this type of plant, to bloom and to survive well, to thrive, it needs a weather that has a cycle. Okay, so in this case, yeah, not an easy job to fake it, and it doesn't make any sense to do that. So when does this life cycle of the plant start? It starts even before the seed is born. It starts basically with the flower. The flower in spring and in summer gets pollinated by bees or other insects or the wind that transports the pollen and becomes a seed over the months. So by the end of the summer, beginning of winter, you should probably have something already kind of formed, and that's the perfect time to cut the pod from the branches. This was cut something like in January 2021, so it is perfect. I mean, because it had the time to mature on the plant, and then when the branch of the tree is, let's say, dry, then you can cut it from the Wisteria mother plant. And same thing goes with so many other plants that follow a seasonality. So if you open this, you will find many tiny little buttons, kind of round, and you can store them in a plastic envelope with some wet moss. I did the same with the magnolia seeds, same thing, they sprouted as well, because now it is spring, and this is the result. You see, like, a very good sprouting. Same with others. I collected too many, but yes, you see. So this year I was very lucky, and it was not only luck, but it's because I had the fresh seeds that I picked up from a tree. Another thing that I want to tell you is the problem of mold here that I noticed right now. And what I mean by that is that it was kind of also my mistake in a way, because I put all the seeds that I found in this envelope. But if you have the impression that one seed may not make it, because, I don't know, you see it's like a bit mushy, it's smaller than the others, just don't put it in the envelope, throw it away. So yeah, what I'm going to do is very, very simple. There are a few methods. I'm not going to use the one with the soil, because I have to constantly, either I have to wrap it in a plastic bag, or I have to keep watering it all the time. So I'm not going to do it, and I'm going to get a jar similar to the one that I got from for my Litki's seeds. Okay, and what I do is I essentially fill the bottom part of expanded clay and keep it as a water reserve. Okay, nicely soiled hands. I put some water, filtered water, my usual water, there, a bit. It should not be above the maximum level of the expanded clay. And then what I'm going to do, where is it? I'm going to put some wet moss. This is wet at the bottom, just a bit. So by capillarity it will keep the seeds always nice and wet. And I'm going to place this seed downwards, like this, and then cover it with moss. So this is going to remain always wet. And when the water, like here in the water reserve, is done, like has evaporated, I'll fill in again with water. I'll pour it through the moss, and then I will wait. This method, I use it a lot, and it really works. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put the seed back outside. It has stayed outside throughout the whole winter, as you can imagine. So yeah, you can do the same, exactly the same with the jasmine seeds. Look how beautiful they are. Also with magnolia, with many other plants. The thing is to try to guess or research what the plant needs, and based on what the plant needs, its life cycle and its natural environment, you will know exactly what to do. If you have any questions, write them down in the info box below. If you have further experience and you can share with us some other care tips, then absolutely feel free to do it. I would be super happy to also learn from you and from what you did right or wrong. And if you like this video, please give it a nice like. I hope to see you subscribe to this channel, and if you want to see when I upload a new video, click also the bell button so you will receive a notification. I hope you will also share it with your friends and family who loves plants as much as you do. Have a good day, and I hope to see you very soon.